Question number 5, Nicky Wagner.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To the Minister for Tertiary Education, Skills and Employment, what recent reports has he received on the value of the international education industry to New Zealand?
Honourable Heke-Parata.
Mr. Speaker, I've recently received a new report by Infometrics on the economic impact of international education in 2012-13. This report shows the value of international education to the New Zealand economy is continuing to grow. It contributed $2.6 billion in 2012-13 and around 28,000 jobs. The sector has grown in value since 2008, despite a recent fall in international student headcount due to the impacts from the global financial crisis and the Christchurch earthquakes. It's worth noting that international education is not just important for New Zealand as a whole, but also our regions. For example, in 2012-13, spending generated $177 million for Wellington, $165 million for Otago, and $152 million for the Waikato.
Speaker.
Supplementary question, Nicky Wagner.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To the Minister for Tertiary Education, Skills and Employment, what steps is the government taking to encourage growth in New Zealand's international education sector?
Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr. Speaker, last week the Minister of Immigration and myself announced a package of new initiatives designed to help grow our international education industry further. The changes will make it easier for some international students to work during their studies and allow streamlined visa processing in partnership with selected high-quality education providers. Furthermore, the lowest quality providers will be prevented from enrolling international students. Together, these changes will help ensure New Zealand remains internationally competitive and provide a good quality experience for students in New Zealand. Growing international education is not just about direct revenue, it's about creating relationships with countries that are vital for New Zealand's future. International students who study here often go home to their home country and become great ambassadors for New Zealand and maintain their links with this country.
Mr. Speaker.
Supplementary question, Nicky Wagner.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To the Minister for Tertiary Education, Skills and Employment, how will the changes enhance protection for international students in New Zealand?
Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr. Speaker, it's important we do look after the international students who travel a long way to come and study here. In addition to the legislative changes made previously in 2011, the Government is proposing further amendments to establish a new legal framework for enforcing the Code of Practice for the Pastoral Care of International Students, as well as a new disputes resolution scheme to resolve contract disputes. We need to remain vigilant to the risks of unscrupulous agents and providers. While we're already making a number of legislative changes to deal with bad apples in the system, these changes will further strengthen our regulatory framework so that we keep looking after this very important industry for New Zealand and for the students that study here.
Question number 6, Phil Twyford.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is for the Minister of Housing. When he carried furniture into a Housing New Zealand tenant's house, was he consciously